Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, and today we are taking a quick look at Fragile Existence. Quick thank you to Hooded Horse and Fragile Continuum for giving me access to this exclusive gameplay video. And yeah, this is still in development, so things can happen, things can change. But with all that being said, Fragile Existence, developed by Fragile Continuum, is an interesting mix of genres, with elements of RTS survival and X4 coming into play, and creating quite an interesting genre in itself. The story revolves around escaping an unknown alien menace that has decided to turn its eyes to the human race. You start with a handful of ships, and have to venture out into space, exploring new systems and planets, and collecting minerals, all while outrunning the enemy. So let's talk a bit about what's going on so far in this video. So as we can see at the very start, we were warping into a new system with a planet here. We have Tauron, and we are now moving our fleets towards it. As we can see here, we have a cargo freighter selected. That's due to the fact that the resources are localized in this game. So what that means is when you get onto these planets and you start mining these resources, and before the enemy catches up, you need to ship those resources back out. And you'll need the likes of freighters and large cargo ships to be able to carry those resources as you progress onto a new planet. There's also some interesting things going on here with ships having modular slots. So there is a system here where you can increase the capacity maybe of some of these ships, potentially make them a bit more aggressive as well, adding some weaponry to maybe a freighter could be found useful later on. But there is also a scouting element. As we can see here, we are having ships flying around the planet. Some are going to anchor into position. These are probably your ships that need to stay in safer areas, while your combat ships can move around the planet a bit, find out if there is anything on the planet, because you can find hostiles on planets and you will need to pacify those hostiles. This is where the game changes into a more traditional RTS, as when you've got to this planet and you start landing on this planet, which we'll see shortly, you'll see that you can land different types of buildings as well as construction vehicles to start your more standard RTS style, more akin to say Planetary Annihilation, where on the planet you're plopping down your base building and collecting these resources, start researching on these planets as well. So here you can see there are some mineable nodes. So he's moving ship around, and as you can see, he's designating landing zones. And we'll see in a second as he zooms out, goes to the ship that is doing that. We can see out the back you have landing ships coming out of this mining barge, which is so cool. And we can see them coming into orbit of the planet and then flying into the planet's atmosphere, landing on those positions. And you can see here he's setting up some, I guess, a scout ship to scout the region out a little bit better. We have this heavy transport, which earlier you could see in the storage was actually housing a bunch of actual military units in landing ships ready to go. So if he did find anything, he could just land an army on top of them potentially, and be able to maybe pacify the planet a little bit quicker that way. But it's quite interesting that you can actually take, so we can see here the staging deck, and that's, it's got all these cool military units. I have a quick look at some of the other ships here. We have a Daedalus frigate, a strike carrier, and a support carrier. So kind of reminiscent of Homeworld almost, these ship types. So as we zoomed in here, we can see these landing ships coming into the atmosphere and traveling around to the landing designated areas. And we'll see them start dropping stuff down. This is really interesting. This sort of reminds me of Dawn of War. I think it was Dawn of War 2. I think it was the Space Marine faction that had landing ships that dropped bases down and stuff. So here we can see he's got a construction yard down, very aptly named, reminds me of Command & Conquer. And we have these two earth golems, which are miners of some description. However, looking at them, they are modular, so it could potentially be that you could have one set up for construction and one set up for mining. I believe at the current moment, with the modules on this, I think you get a glimpse at them in this video at one point. And the modules is one's a drill and one looks to be some kind of construction equipment. So you could potentially specialize them though with 2 mining modules on them, and then maybe add 2 constructions onto another one. So and maybe that'll increase construction speeds or mining speeds and stuff like that, which is really quite interesting. We can see the other buildings being developed. I'm guessing one is a refinery of some description, and they're being built by, I believe, the construction yard. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's just a quick look at what the developer's been up to, and a little bit of gameplay that we haven't seen before, and definitely the UI we haven't seen before. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be trying to cover this on the channel closer to release and on release, because this game looks really, really damn interesting. Anyway, catch you guys next time.